Good evening, children. Thank you for joining us. Over the next 5 nights, we're going to be reading you a bedtime story from the new book, Seb and Polly Planet on their ocean quest. Join Seb as she discovers a solution to plastic pollution with her new superhero friend, Polly Planet. And the book is by Michelle Cassar and the illustrations are by Yves Barat. Standing in front of her by the open window was Polly Planet, the new superhero from her comic book. Wearing big old-fashioned flying goggles, her blue and gold cape shimmering in the moonlight, Polly's face broke into a huge smile. Seb stared in astonishment. Polly Planet really does have super special powers. You're from my comic book, stammered Seb. I was just wishing I could join you on your quest. Well, that's why I'm here. Nice to meet you, children. I'm Polly Planet. Yesterday, Seb went to the shoe shop and refused a plastic bag and then got visited by the leatherback turtle who came to thank her for being pal. Let's see what happens today, shall we, in chapter 4. So you comfortable? You ready? Let's have chapter 4. Later that week at school, Seb was with her friends at lunchtime. She'd had her dinner and was choosing her dessert. As she cast her eyes over the choices, she thought of Polly Planet, the island, the fluffy chicks, the albatrosses and the leatherback turtle. With a newfound confidence, she decided to have an apple rather than a yoghurt in a plastic pot. Her friends were surprised, as Seb always chose yoghurt. Sitting down, Seb explained why to her friends. Remember what we're taught? Reduce, reuse. One of her friends said quietly, but Seb, you're just one little girl saying no to one plastic yoghurt pot. What difference can you make? Seb enjoyed her crunchy apple, quietly thinking about her visitors before rushing to the playground with her friends. Back at home, munching on a special dinner that Seb hoped would make her windy pop later, she told Charlie what she'd done at lunchtime. You refused a yoghurt, Seb? That's not like you. Was it because of the plastic pot? Yes, said Seb. You really do think you're making a difference, don't you? Asked Charlie. Well, who knows? Maybe you are. That night, sitting up in bed reading, Seb noticed the sun was setting, but even with the clouds looming on the horizon, it was still light enough to not need her torch. Suddenly, the room got brighter and she heard a noise, a bit like a wave. Then splash! Rushing over to the window, Seb threw it open. In the golden evening light, something caught her eye. There was a large tusk poking out of the sea, right in front of her window. Seb could hardly believe her eyes. Was that a unicorn? She looked closer, and with the tusk leading the way, the creature's body rose and dipped in and out of the glittering water. Seb's mouth dropped open. It was a narwhal. The narwhal lifted his head out of the water, his spiring horn glittering in the setting sun as he spoke.
Some people don't believe in unicorns. We're the unicorns of the sea, living far away in the icy waters of the Arctic Ocean.
As the water is getting warmer, more and more plastic is finding its way to where we live. Fish eat the plastic, then we eat the fish. The narwhal looked at Seb and said proudly,
But because of you saying no to plastic, there will be less of it making its way to the frozen Arctic. Will you be pal for us and carry on refusing single-use plastic, Seb?
Of course! I'll be pal for you, Seb said excitedly. The incredible narwhal spun around, twirling his tusk, and as Seb watched, more narwhals joined him in the water. Before long, the sea was brimming in with them, all thanking Seb for being pal. When Seb clambered back into bed, she had a tingling with goosebumps, knowing that she had made a difference to the lives of the narwhals. She gave a big yawn, and then she drifted off into a deep, deep sleep.
Well, there you go, children. Chapter 4. Wasn't it magical meeting the narwhals? or the narwhals. I'm never really sure how to say it actually. Maybe you can do that as one of your activities. But wasn't it amazing to meet them, the unicorns of the sea? Well, like we were saying though, the other chapters, it's all a bit different, isn't it, as we're at home? So there might be other things of plastic you can refuse while you're at home. But if you get a bit confused, we've made you some activity sheets. So you go there, and then tomorrow we'll meet you for the final chapter. And also do let your friends know, and they need to know that it's all on the YouTube and that they can start watching chapter 1 now. So they can start watching it and be catching up with you. It's like the catch up on the telly. It's fancy, isn't it? So we'll see you tomorrow night. Sweet dreams now. Good night, children. Good night.